One of the first things you want to do when you're going to clean a sculpture is first just start with a visual inspection and make sure nothing looks obviously damaged or broken, or if there's chipped paint. If you see anything that's broken, or if you see some paint that's chipping off, you don't want to clean that area. You should just alert someone, make a note about that, and then move on to the next piece. So what I would do looking at Lakeside table is I would just start to check and make sure all these elements that are really easy for visitors to pull on, just make sure everything feels like it's secure. So this spoon's got a little bit of movement to it, so I want to note that and let someone know, and then I'll know to be really careful when I'm cleaning that side. So here I've noted that there's a leaf that's broken. It's not really obvious aesthetically, but during my examination I was able to see that that wasn't connected to the stem anymore. So that's a good example of an area where you want to be really careful. I would just avoid cleaning it altogether. Kind of the first rule in collections care is don't make it worse. So better to just avoid that area altogether and let someone know that it's been damaged, rather than trying to clean it and then making it a little bit worse. One of the first things we want to do is remove any loose debris before we start cleaning the sculpture. Loose debris is often in all these little smaller parts here, like inside this bread. There's some leaves. We want to pull those out. Just be careful, because sometimes what you think is a leaf is actually a small frog. This is Scorpio by Ginnever, and with a piece like this, there are some crevices that form in the fold of those shapes. And that's an area where you're going to need to look for any debris that needs to be cleared out. So here you can see in one of the folds between the two shapes, there's a pile of leaves and cobwebs and all kinds of stuff that have collected here. And what you're going to need to do is just gently brush them out. You don't want to use anything really sharp that could scratch the metal. You want to use something more like a microfiber cloth. After you've removed the debris, you're going to want to just wet the sculpture down first with just plain water. And you can use this with a spray bottle or the larger spray container. And this will help get off any more loose debris, and it'll also get the dirt that's on the piece a little bit wet, which will help when you're cleaning it. If you're using the mister from the larger pump, what you're going to want to do before you get started is give it a few pumps. So this is what it looks like. It does not have Roundup in it, it's just water. And you just pump it. And that will give you some good spray. Usually you want about 6 or 7 pumps to get the most spray out of it. We also have some spray water in bottles, water only. Same thing. You can just spray things down with this. And after you spray, you want to just let it sit for a minute and let that dirt kind of get wet. and it'll start to lift off the surface a little bit. You'll also have with you some pre-prepared diluted soap. We use diluted Orvis soap for cleaning sculptures. And then you can spray this on your wet sculpture. And you'll notice it's not really sudsy soap, but trust me, it is going to clean it. Then you're going to take your sponge or whatever tools you're using that day, depending on the piece, and you're just going to wipe it down. And you can see pretty well the difference between cleaned area and not cleaned area. And then after you're done cleaning, you want to take your water and just rinse off. Now I'm going to give this area a light rinse again. Usually we would use a hose if we're cleaning a big piece like this. It's pretty dirty, but for purposes of what you're going to be doing, which will be more of a light cleaning of work, because it had already been cleaned fairly recently, just need a little bit of a touch-up. You won't need a hose to do that. You can do that with these portable items. It's looking good. So when you're all done and you've rinsed the piece off and there's no more soap on it, then you want to take one of these soft microfiber towels and just dry off the piece. This will help keep water from pooling up, and it'll get off any other dirt remnants that might still be on there. And that's it.